Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibbitz. It's Mary, and I'm here with today's edition of Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, Love During Lockup, Word on the Street. Last night's episode was epic, but I will save that for my recap. There's lots of stuff going out there on the interwebs. So let's hop right in. This week has been a week for Earl and Dylan, but we'll get into Dylan a little later. But Earl, his bail was reduced. Yeah, remember, he spent his New Year's in jail because he decided stealing a car on the night that he ran from a crash that he was involved in. He thought stealing a car and using a credit card that he found in the glove compartment was a great idea. Well, anyway, he spent this New Year's in jail, and his attorney applied for a reduced bail. So his bail was reduced to $5,000 or 10% bond, which was a measly $500. So for a measly $500, Earl is out of custody. Yeah, he's out of custody. Now the question is, who the heck put up $500 to get Earl out of custody? Tayler says it was not her. Okay. She may or may not have picked up Earl from jail. Okay. But she definitely, in her words, he might be the father of my kid, and I don't wish ill for him or on him, but I'm surely not going to pay $500 to get him out. Shaking my head. He cost me enough money as it is. I don't know why that's a rumor, but that's ridiculous. So she may or may not have hit him up, but she definitely didn't bail him out. Okay. She didn't put up the $500. That's according to her. Now, you may ask, what is going on with Alyssa? Well, Charles posted this picture of him and Alyssa, and you would think Alyssa went back to him, everything is fine, and you're happy. Well, that doesn't seem the case because today Charles posted this to his status. And considering just yesterday, he was messaging me, asking me to cut her some slack and to please don't use anything else we talked about in the past. I have forgiven her for those things since she has left. Well, this, Charles, doesn't sound like forgiveness to me. Okay, so I don't know what the heck is going on, but hmm, Bobby even jumped into this. Okay. Bobby reposted the Starcasm article about all this. You know, Earl's bail. Where's Alyssa? Did she run back to her old guy Charles? And Bobby and Tayler, you know, having a conversation in the comments. And Bobby just basically says, I heard, she runs back and forth between the two, Chance and Charles. She's only with Chance when he's out. And when he's locked up, she's nowhere to be found. So, I don't know. This whole thing with Alyssa, Charles, Chance, making my head spin. The biggest thing that I'm trying to wrap my mind around, okay? Last night's episode, Chance and the town man whore. Stay tuned for my recap tomorrow live, okay? Because I am going to be getting into this, okay? Town man whore. Now, another one that I'm going to be getting into during my recap tomorrow is Mr. and Mr. Montana Mills. They're still dressing matchy-matchy or cutesy-cutesy, but last night they pissed me the hell off. Just like they have been, honestly, this whole season. The way Mike has been handling his Rhode Island family and his Rhode Island children this whole season has been pissing me off, but I will save that for the recap. But Mike makes it up every time. Every time he breaks one of his daughter's hearts on TV, he makes up for it with a nice social media post. Because when Melody cried on TV the next day, nice social media post with him and Melody, and the same thing with Nova. So hey, just saying. But you know, Mike wants to know what your PS5 gamer tag is so he could play Mortal Kombat with you. And remember, and I'm not condoning this, if you feel comfortable enough to release all of your personal information to Mike, and it seems like Justine too, hey, they could get you on with second chance solutions and get your credit score right. So hit them up and they can help you. Now, another thing I'm going to get into during my recap. I have so many things to get into during my recap, so make sure that you're there tomorrow live, guys. Make sure you have your notifications on so you know when I'm going live. Quaylon, Chevelle, you guys want to do this whole adoption thing. Don't you think you should talk to the child first? Okay, she's not feeling it. And Chevelle sat there and looked at her daughter like, duh. I mean, so just saying, guys, maybe you want to talk to the child before you go and meet an attorney and all this other stuff. Just saying. Just saying. Blaine and Kagan go for haircuts, and Lindsay wants to know whose date night you prefer. Her date night in the back of a truck or Chance's date night, the trunk of a limo. Okay? Now, Louis wants everyone to understand that it's okay to be compassionate and to want to help a addict, but there's a difference between enabling and helping. Okay? So I'm going to play Louis' video so he could explain this to you.
My name is Louis, and for the ones that don't know, I'm on a show, Life After Lockup. I served 10 years of incarceration for armed robbery and 2 aggravated assaults. Which led me up to that was my addiction. I suffered from addiction my majority of my life. I'm 42 years old now, and I've been sober for going over 6 years. And today I would like to speak to you briefly about being an enabler. Not many people know that they're actually being an enabler. This message really is for the people who have a loved one who's incarcerated or has a loved one who suffers from addiction, whether it's alcohol or drugs, either or. In my case, my mother, some of my family members, they didn't even really realize that they were enabling me. I would go to them with my problems. I would ask for money. I would kind of put them in situations saying that I need the money. And at the time, I feel that they gave me money because they were, they were scared for me. They were worried for me. And they actually thought that they were helping me. But in actuality, they were enabling me to use drugs.
And they were hurting you, but not meaning to.
And I know it must be hard for somebody that you love to just tell them no. But I'm telling you right now, throughout my incarceration, I would call up and ask for money because I would put myself in situations to where I technically needed money, but I really wanted it. I was still using while I was locked up. I was gambling, and I would actually ask family members, especially my mother, for money. And all I was doing was wasting it. She worked hard for her money to pay her bills, but in actuality, she was actually giving me the money to buy drugs, to pay my debts in prison. And I feel that people who have somebody who is incarcerated and they don't know much about the prison system, this is what they're doing. And I feel that you need, if you really love that person, you need to put them on a budget first, and at some point cut them off. Limit yourself. $25 a week, $100 a month, and that's it. Do not go and send them cash apps. Don't do Walmart to Walmart. I'm telling you, in the long run, you're hurting them. If you can stop that right now, I promise you that it will be beneficial for them in the end, okay? And it'll save you money. So look, this is a little bit longer than I expected, but I promise you, stop sending money to the people you love in prison. Just give them a budget, okay? Because all you're doing is you're being an enabler, and you'll realize this later on down the road. All right, thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.
And I think that's good, solid advice from Louis. Okay, he's been there, he knows. So, on the other hand, Red loves when people call just to check up on him. Key Rock and Brittany weren't on this week, but Key Rock, he was 5 years into his bid during when this picture was taken. Okay, he's come a long way since he's been in. So, and we have Diva, okay, my girl Renika. She's celebrating the new year, wiping the slate clean. It's not easy to forget about Ashante, but she's wiping the slate clean, moving into the new year. Public service announcement from Letitia. Ty is so in love with her grandson, and so am I. I mean, look at this kid. He's adorable. Now, unfortunately, it wouldn't be word on the street with a whole bunch, without, I should say, without a whole bunch of shenanigans. And do I have shenanigans for you guys? First of all, Dylan was arrested live yesterday on IG. I sat through listening to him babble for an hour. Okay, guys, he was going on and on. He was the one that called the cops. Okay, he wanted to go into the apartment that he shares with Marissa to retrieve his belongings, because you guys all know that he was arrested on New Year's Day. Okay, so anyway, he was the one that called the cops, and by the time the cops showed up and realized that there was a protective order in place, and that he has been in contact with Marissa, because apparently Marissa showed the cops that he violated the order by texting her. There was some type of communication between the two of them, and he was arrested live on IG. If you haven't seen that video yet, check it out. But this video, okay, this whole scenario of him, waiting for the cops to come and babbling for an hour, and I'm sitting here multitasking, listening to Dylan babble for an hour, actually paid off. Okay, guys? So keep your notifications on, because I will be uploading at some point this weekend. Okay? Something came out during that live while Dylan was babbling on the sidewalk, and I did a little research into it. So stay tuned for that video. And Marissa went live last night as she was getting ready to go to work, and the content of the live wasn't interesting, I should say, but the live itself, is very interesting. So stay tuned for this video. And of course, it wouldn't be word on the street without some Heather shenanigans. She is 35 weeks pregnant, still in the tent. She still thinks Xavier is scrambled. She still thinks it's a conspiracy. Um, she thinks that she is being withheld from health care and it's a conspiracy, and so on and so forth, etc. Now, of course, it wouldn't be word on the street without a little bit of Derek, Monique, Angel, etc. shenanigans. I'm not really sure if Angel and Derek are even together anymore. That's how far behind on this crap I am. But I follow Angel for some reason, and this popped up on my feed. And to me, it sounds like they're not together. There's trouble in paradise, and Derek is running his mouth as usual. And of course, it wouldn't be word on the street without some Mandy and Maurice shenanigans. And honestly, I can't think of a worse way to start off the new year than this announcement. It's time for a pregnancy test, apparently, for Mandy. Ugh. I mean, but Maurice, if you love waking up to this every morning, that's on you. Just saying. Now, Jonna, I wish you the best of luck on your workout regimen for 2024. And it's good to see Curtis smiling for once, okay? Because he had a rough 2023. So I just wanted to close out this edition of Word on the Street by saying, listen, guys, I'm a really, really nice person. So if I'm an asshole to you, you need to ask yourself why. Just saying. Thanks so much for watching me. Please hit subscribe if you don't already. Hit that like button. Share my video with a friend or 10. And consider joining my membership. Thanks so much. I'll be going live tomorrow night to do my recap. Make sure your notifications are on. See you tomorrow. Bye.